Right, everybody, Manchester United face Newcastle. This is going to be the preview ahead of the game, talking about predicted team, tactics, what more. Obviously, we have that huge game on Thursday against Lyon. But this game against Newcastle is a big game in itself. Obviously, Newcastle a couple of weeks ago did beat Liverpool in the Carabao Cup. And they're going to look to kind of beat United again. It's a very, very tricky game. It's at St. James Park. If you remember, the last time we played him, it was that game with Joshua Zirkzee. He got subbed off in the 33rd minute. Some of the fans booed him off, and look where he's at now. It was the game in which I believe United lost 2-0. And listen, it was a very, very poor game by Manchester United. And Newcastle since then, and I think United since then have improved, which is a positive. Newcastle since then have had some very, very good results, some very good performances, and they are playing well. You look at their last six. You look at their last 6 games. You look at their last 5. They've won 4, lost 1. They've had a few shaky results here and there, but they've beaten Forest this season. They've obviously got battered 4-0 by City, but like they are a good team, and they do have problems, and they do have very, very good players. I watched bits of their game. I watched like its first 65 minutes against Leicester, and they did play alright. It was Murphy who scored 2 goals for them. They had Harvey Barnes, obviously Anthony Gordon still finding fitness. Let's look at Manchester United's team in news first. Now, in terms of Manchester United and in terms of players that we got back, I believe De Ligt's out for this game. Bruno could potentially be rested. I think Amarim will make some rotations, which we'll have to talk about. But yeah, listen, there's no sort of players returning, and there's no players out of the squad for this game, so that is a huge boost. Now, as I said, Newcastle, some very, very good players. Isak's a threat. We know the problem that he causes. I think he scored 2 goals against us last time. Definitely got 1. Physical presence, can carry the ball. Just a very tricky opponent. And I'm hoping with the likes of Yoro and Mazraoui and Maguire in there, which I'll talk about later, they can deal with the problem. But listen, we know what we're going to get. Listen, if you look at the table, Newcastle sitting 5th. It's looking like they're going to get that Champions League. Oh, it isn't guaranteed actually. Aston Villa 51, City 52. So they're fighting to get that Champions League spot. They've only lost 9 games this season. Look at United, 13th place, 4 points off 12th, 7 points off 10th. I think this is a winnable game. Do I think United will win? No, I think it's going to be a tricky ground. St. James Park is a very hostile, not as hostile as Lyon, by the way. But again, it's a very tricky atmosphere to go to. And our away form has been good. So let's see what to expect now. In terms of Manchester United team, does Andre Onana start? I believe that's going to be the biggest talking point now. Reports were suggesting, coming in from Chris Wheeler, I think Pete Hall as well from the Times, he was saying that Manchester United will start Bayindir in this game and then against Newcastle, and then put Onana in for Lyon. I mean, whatever. I mean, Onana, it doesn't make it. I'm not really bothered. Listen, Bayindir still has his flaws as well. We're acting like we're getting rid of Onana and bringing in a top keeper to replace him. Bayindir has got his flaws. Is he better than Onana? I'm sure he deserves a chance. Hasn't had many opportunities in a United shirt. I'd be looking at giving him that opportunity. And I think with someone like Onana, he's a confident character, but again, he talked the talk, just got destroyed. So yeah, on Onana, I'd be looking at benching him, starting Bayindir in goal. Now, in terms of back 5, back 3, you have to start Lenny Yoro. I think he's someone who's been really, really important. Had a very, very good game at Lyon. Scored a wonderful goal as well. When you look at bringing the ball up in the back, carrying the ball into midfield, making line-breaking passes, he's one of the best at United for doing that. And I think it is difficult because he is playing on that left side where he isn't. It's difficult for a right footer. And that's why you probably need someone like a Heaven or potentially a Shaw. But I think it would be Yoro. I think you keep Mazraoui on the right. He had a good game as well. And Maguire in the middle. That's what I would go with. Delo right wing back, Dorgu left wing back. They've had quite a decent game. I thought Dorgu actually had a decent game against Lyon. He put a few good cut back crosses in. The one which Hoyland had a chance. He put that cross in which Garnacho had the chance. He did have a very, very good game. And I think a very, very important player. Now, as I said, Delo on the right. Now, in midfield, what do we do? Because we do have options. Kobe Mainoo's back. I think it's too early for him to start. Mason Mount, you can play him there. I think he's going to go with They'll probably go Casemiro and Bruno, because that's the only way I'd go with. I think Bruno deeper. We just look so much more creative. Yes, it's a tough game away at Newcastle, but I just don't think we work well with Casemiro and Ugarte in that midfield. I think it's too defensive. There's not much creativity in there. And I think you need someone like Bruno Fernandes in there. So I'd go Casemiro, Bruno. I mean, you could see Ugarte start, but either pick, but I want Bruno in there. 2 inside 10s. I'm going to go with Mount, and I'm going to go with Mount and Garnacho. Now, again, Garnacho didn't have the greatest games against Lyon, but again, the same reason why I've been starting him in the last 3 games. On the counter-attack, his decision-making needs to improve, because he's getting him in the right positions, but he's just not being clinical enough. And I think that would be a huge worry if I am Garnacho. You're getting into the right position, just that one. We should have slipped it to Xerxes instead of playing it across to Bruno. Again, if you don't want to start, you can bring Casemiro and Ugarte into midfield, put Bruno and Mount as the 10s, but I definitely want to see Mount start. And I'm going to go Xerxes through the middle. I'm sorry, but Rasmus can't start. I mean, Xerxes came off the bench, scored a wicked goal. Overall movement was fantastic. Great quality on the ball. Manipulating the ball was fantastic. He's a very technical player. And yes, we don't want to see Xerxes as our number 9, but I think at this moment, Højlund's not offering anything. So you want to see Xerxes there. So that would be my team. Bayindir will probably start in goal. Delo and Dogu as the wing backs with Masraoui, Yoro and Maguire. Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Garnacho and Xerxes. Let me know your thought. You could see Cheeto potentially get a start. I think he's going to be with the first team for this game. You could see Eriksen. I mean, I remember the last time when we played Newcastle, he started, had a bit of a stinker. You could start Mainoo, but again, I think it's too early. You could probably start Lindelof, but why would you? I think there will be changes. Would Bruno be rested? Honestly, I don't think he will. He's a guy who plays every game, week in, week out, so I don't think Bruno will be rested. In terms of score predictions, I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle. I don't want to predict a United loss. It's going to be a very, very tricky game. Manchester United at the moment are struggling to score goals. Yes, we got 2 against Lyon, but you look at where they come from. One was from a set piece and one was kind of on the counter-attack. Again, but it's all about keeping the ball. I think having players like Mount in there for the energy, I think it's time he deserves to start now. He's been getting 3-4 cameos off the bench. You've got players like Mainoo to come off the bench. You can bring Højlund, Cheeto, Eriksen as well if you want to bring him on. So we do have options. But let me know your thoughts. Peace.